You lifers, make sure the newbies know they are not in the wrong place. They are, of course, in the right place, and that is none other than the Life Be Lifing podcast. Yeah. Y'all know we are typically hosted by the vivacious, the lovely, the gorgeous, the witty, the wise, the electric and eclectic squishy gangster herself, Mimi the goddess. I know we were supposed to bring y'all game night this week. However, our beloved co-host is under the weather. It seems to be, something that, happens pretty often. She either goes out of town or goes to a tropical or different weather place, and she comes back sick. I'm telling you, this has been something that she's battled for years. So for those of you who are religious, send good energy her way, or religious, I would say actually send up prayers for her. And those of you who are not, just send good energy and healing energy in her way. Think positive thoughts about our beloved co-host as she recovers from her illness. And just hope that it don't turn out to, anything major. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot going on right now. Even one of the ladies from Podcast Philly, speaking of which, you can catch them tonight on the Talk Heavy podcast. You know what I'm saying? They live right now, but after this, you could go back and check the episode out. The Talk Heavy podcast episode with the Queens of Podcast Link Philly. Shout out to Dana, Star, and Taya representing for the team. But Dana even, told the group this morning that she came down with some. She felt like she was coming down with something the morning after we did the podcast. So y'all be careful out there. You know what I'm saying? Be safe, stay dangerous. You heard me? Um, take those vitamins, whatever it is that y'all got to take to fight and combat all these viruses and germs and everything out here right now. You know what I'm saying? Because all these weather changes and allergy type stuff, man, you just never know. You just never know. So uh prayers for healing for all our afflicted lifers and friends and family of the podcast as well. Um, so in the meantime, y'all will be, of course, dealing with your favorite coach's favorite coach, your favorite fat freckle man, the big dog himself. Who? Coach, and y'all in the building tonight. Of course, let me double check. I have to go through the same rigmarole with Facebook every week for some odd reason, no matter how I change, excuse me, no matter how I change the settings. Um, let's see, life be lifing. YouTube, let's check there first. How's everybody been? How y'all week been going? My week has been solid. My week actually ended today. I took tomorrow off um, for a couple of different reasons, but mainly my son's prom is not his prom, excuse me. His girlfriend, who was a senior, her prom is tomorrow night. So I wanted to make sure that I was available. Both my wife and myself were available to assist him, in any way he may need, any kind of last second thing, to make sure that we're on point. Um, you know what I mean? If we gotta run him here, if we gotta run him there, so forth, so on. I'll make sure he goes to the barber tomorrow, get everything tightened up, we'll get the line up, make sure it's crisp, like a blade cutter type sharp, you heard? Um, but he should be, from the standpoint of us trying to prepare ahead of time, he should be good. He should be solid. Everything should indeed be taken care of. Um, Still trying to open it up. I apologize for my Facebookers, my Facebook lifers. I apologize for again the default settings or the fact that they keep resetting the privacy of the live to only me. I think that's super weird. Like if I'm going live, why would I want to be the only person watching the live? Why? Don't make no sense. Why on earth would I want to be the only person watching my live? Um, So yeah, I'm trying to set it to where, everybody can watch. Okay. It is open now, visible to the public. Yeah, visible to the public. And I'm trying to make sure to highlight it so that all the rest of the lifers can see it, all the rest of those, following can see it. And come kick it with me for the next 15 to 20. No, this is not going to be an hour live. It probably won't go more than 30. Told y'all before, and I'll tell y'all again. Talking by myself to myself is not a sustainable podcast for me to do longer than literally. I was telling Myron, shout out to him. I was telling him 15 minutes is really, but like if I have something I'm passionate enough about, and maybe the chat engages me in the response, then yeah, maybe then I could do 30 minutes. Outside of that, 15, 20 tops. So this is not going to be a long episode. Um, However, I strive to make every episode a good episode. So, still hoping that we have a good conversation tonight. Hoping that, a couple of the lifers get active in the chat. Um, I have some, kind of light discussion, and I have some discussion that's slightly controversial, and I also have some discussion going on tonight, which is I'll say personal. I'm being vulnerable with y'all. And that will explain, if you see the title of tonight's episode, why I called it "The Calm Before the Emotional Storm." That's a very personal, that's a very personal title for what is going on specifically with me right now. Like when I say right now, I mean right now, as in tonight, as in this moment. That is what I'm experiencing. So that's why I named it that. I actually had two names already for the episode for tonight in case we were not able to do game night with Mish. Um, I'm not going to tell them to y'all because I might use them again later on. However, due to life in, um, it inspired the change for me to go with something with a little bit more of a personal touch. Pause. Pause before Myron even end up in here. Before Myron even end up in here and get me out of here for personal for personal touch. We just gonna throw a pause on that immediately. Especially because I did that whole hand motion. Yeah, 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 yeah. He ain't finna get me up out the paint like that. No, no. What the comedians say when they drop a bad joke, I'll see myself out. Oh man. So again, I'll just give a quick brief thing how my week been going. Like I said, it's been going cool. Just been working. Fortunately, we had a shorter week, right? So really this ended up being a 3 day week for me. I needed it to be a 3 day week for me. I hope you all enjoyed your holiday. Um, we did indeed do a episode Monday night. We did indeed do an episode Monday night. That was episode 77, part two, that I did with the brother, the fellow lifer, Mr. Quan Freeman. Shout out to him. And that was the continuation of the mental health emphasis on MEN matters too. Um, and we just tackled that from a standpoint of, the impact of gaming on a, adult male's life. So hopefully y'all tapped in with that. Hopefully y'all enjoyed that. If not, then it wasn't meant for you. It was a good episode. I don't care what nobody say. I won't say I don't care what nobody say, but I know we gave out good content. I know we had a real conversation. And shout out to my brother Kyle Waters, whose post also gave me a tangible um talking point from which to kind of frame the conversation, while some people have problems with that. You know what I'm saying? Most people, for the most part, people will be live and let live, but there's a lot of, dudes who are gamers or like to play the game, and they girl, wife, whatever, significant other doesn't really enjoy that about them. So, it's different aspects of the conversation. Check that out, episode 77, part two. I see people have watched episode 77, part one, that included Reese from the My Brother Maurice Rush from the My Brother podcast, My Brother show, excuse me, and from currently the Quick 15 minutes, excuse me, the Quick 15 podcast. Shout out to him. Shout out to our brother Matic Mobley. Can't talk. Shout out to brother Matic Mobley and shout out to brother Vince Brown, the actor and singer. I'm kind of stalling just because I don't see anybody in the chat yet. I don't see anybody in the chat yet. So I'm going to be the person to make the first person in the chat, first post in the chat while everybody, uh, makes their way here. Got to hit it with a Philly greeting. Let's see. All right, Europe. Let me hit y'all with that. All right, so I guess I won't stall for too much more because we already technically 10 minutes in or so. And that's just the preliminaries. You know what I mean? I ain't even really get to the actual topics. So first, I'll start with my take on, because I wanted to let the situation breathe before I spoke on it. The Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark situation. I want us to kind of, first and foremost, I want us to stop talking about Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark as a situation. The very unfortunate side of what could have been really good, and what to an extent was really good for women's basketball, specifically the pros. The rivalry between Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark has turned into something nasty. It's turned into something poisonous. It's turned into something that's not even financially beneficial for real, for real. So I kind of want people to, for those of us who are the sports aficionados, who actually watch women's hoops, to leave it. Of course, I really want the people who don't actually watch to, shut the hell up and stop talking about it. But for those of us who actually do, I think we need to just realize that what could have been, the WNBA's version of, Magic versus Bird, that's dead. That's dead. It's just dead. It's not going to work. It's not going to work out. Um, between Angel Reese, between her, I don't want to say her personality, like something was, definitely wrong with her. But I will say I'll say it in a respectful way. Between her, between her personality in the sense that she is strong-willed, but there's a lot about this that she's still trying to figure out. Kane, what's going on, brother? Welcome to the chat. Welcome to the chat. Feel free to, what I'm saying, share, tag. That's the other thing. I haven't been saying that. If y'all like my content, if y'all like our content here at Life Be Life, man, please like, share, go to the YouTube, subscribe, like, share there as well. Click the notification bell so that every time we go live, as long as they're not shadow banning me again, y'all will get the notification. And you know what I'm saying? Um, y'all will get the notification. Hold on, I gotta go off camera just 1 second. Y'all will get the notification and you know what I mean? Y'all can politely with it, bro. You heard? Um, just didn't want that to, you ever see something, you just kind of see the accident about to happen. Like you just know it's about to, fall, spill, whatever. I ain't want that happening. And I have to clean up a mess in the middle of trying to record. So, I just saw it out the corner of my eye and decided to move what it is. Um, yeah, so like I said, even those people who are not into sports or basketball or women's basketball specifically have seen the clip of Angel Reese getting fouled by Caitlin Clark, her getting up like she wanted to fight, Caitlin Clark walking away like, oh, I didn't do anything, so forth and so on. I'm an Angel Reese fan. Not ashamed to say it. I might not like everything she does, but I don't like everything anybody does. Like there's very few players where it's like I can't find a gripe with them, whether it's on or off the court. But because they're human, right? Like nobody's perfect. Uh, I like Caitlin Clark too, and there's things she do that I don't like. Um, but I think that no, I know that situation was blown out of proportion. Uh, and everything that's come out of it, the discourse that's come out of it is very nasty work to the point where they had to wear them goofy behind shirts, no room for hate. Like, and I'm not saying that the sentiment of no room for hate is goofy, but the fact that one simple play was overblown so much that the WNBA had to find a way to kind of like counteract or respond to it in a visible or tangible way. That's bad, man. That's really bad. That's sad. That's really sad. I can't rock with that, man. Um, we gotta tighten up. We gotta tighten up as sports fans. And like I said, the people who's not really watching and just be in the comments to comments, ignore them because they're gonna be who they are. They looking for bad stuff to say about people. They looking to trash the league, the players, all that. But for those who actually are interested in the game, we got to do better. We got to tighten up. Yes, Angel overreacted. Yes, she didn't have that same energy for Alyssa Thomas, who damn near chokeslammed her last season. Um, but uh, despite whatever RG3 said, I don't think it's because she hates her outside of basketball. Um, and I don't want to give RG3 too much mention or credit because I think he's a cornball. I actually also think Ryan Clark can be kind of a cornball. Like I like Ryan Clark. Let me say that. I like Ryan Clark, but I think that, dang, you know how sometimes you do in these podcasts is you don't want to necessarily put your foot in your mouth because you do respect somebody and you do kind of like you don't want to close the door to possible collaboration because he said something about him. But I don't want to be pussyfooting and soft footing around the issue. I think that Ryan Clark, his his perceived caping for black women, I don't even want to say perceived, his caping for black women comes off very disingenuous. It doesn't feel real. It feels like he's doing it to win brownie points with black women. I said it when he felt the need to give this whole dissertation of what the black girl experience or the black girlfriend experience or what black women have went through when he decided to do that for Andrew Schultz. Like, why? 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 He, he doesn't care. He's not listening unless he's listening to take bits and pieces that he can use to make more jokes about black people. Yo, what's good, Mar? Welcome to the chat. Like, why? Like it's pointless, it's superfluous, and again, I feel like more than anything, it was a opportunity to try to win brownie points with the sisters. Oh, sorry, trying to keep my cat out the way so that she does not knock over anything while I'm recording. Um, yeah, like I think that was, and I think this is the same thing where, RG3 is saying, is saying something negative and, you made it about, uh, attacking a black woman as in Angel Reese. And to be fair, there are plenty of people who actually attack Angel Reese for no reason. Like it's one thing to criticize maybe some of the dumb things she said or, some of her behavior or the fact that she has not worked hard enough to be proficient at laying the ball in the basket as a pro. Like all of those are valid conversations, but you don't have to tear it down to have those conversations. Um, you could just attack what it is. Like, how they say, when you attack a person instead of the point, it shows the weakness in your argument. Yeah, it shows your intention, excuse me, when you decide to attack Angel Reese, like as a whole entire person, as opposed to attacking what it is you don't like that she did or said. Um, but yeah, so she definitely overreacted. Although she didn't have that same energy for Alyssa Thomas when it initially happened last year, she screamed the hell out of Alyssa Thomas the other day, knocked her on her back pockets, and Alyssa Thomas ain't like that. But why another reason why I said we need to step away from this conversation, while I know while race unfortunately gets involved every time, I know it's not strictly a black and white conversation because Caitlin Clark got into it with Ryan Howard. Um, not even 3 games after that, she got into a bit of a tangle and shoving match with Ryan Howard. And, she was sitting there saying to Ryan Howard, I'm not scared of you. I'm not scared of you. I mean, she should be scared of Ryan Howard because I don't see Caitlin Clark beating Ryan Howard for nothing if she ever had to scrap. I really don't think Caitlin Clark, necessarily could scrap. It is not because she white, she just don't look like it. Um, but yeah, Ron Howard look like she'll body slam the hell out that girl. So I get it. I get it. You stand in your ground. You can't show fear, but yeah, I don't think that's a good matchup for you to pick a fight with. Um, and it wasn't blown into, and that's how you know it's really about Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark every time because there wasn't this whole thing about Ron Howard and you know her poor depiction as a black woman or any of the negative things that they find to say about Angel Reese. Like it just happened. It wasn't made into a big deal. Ryan Howard, not Ryan Howard, Ryan Howard, Rhyne. I don't even know why I'm indulging you with a response, Myron. No damn well ain't no Ryan Howard from the Phillies. Oh man, you hilarious, bro. Um So yeah, that's one thing that I wanted to put out there. Like you cannot like women's hoop. You can not like Angel Reese. You cannot like Caitlin Clark. I'm not here to try to convince anybody to like or love or enjoy any of those things the way I do. But for those of us who actually do participate, tighten up, man. Stop falling for the banana in the tailpipe with this stupid behind Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark beef that they keep trying to set y'all up for. Let it die. Let it die. Because once that happens, then once people stop hyping it up and stop feeding into it, or at least as long as only one side feeds into it, because you know, respectfully, white people are always going to feed into it. Um, but as long as and not all, because some just don't buy it but there's going to be enough because again, I ain't gotta say it. But yeah, we gotta as sports fans, as fans of basketball, fans of women's basketball, we gotta tighten up and stop falling for that goofy ass trap. Um, Also random. I am proud. Like how you see those posts on Facebook where people be like, I'm I'm one of the only people that never watched a single episode or a single second of Game of Thrones. Or excuse me, I never watched an episode of Power or any of the spin-offs. Like you're supposed to get a cookie because you chose not to, or somehow it makes you more important or more mature, or that's something to be proud of because you didn't watch a popular show. Like I don't even have any fake cookies around to act like I'm offering y'all. But those posts you see on Facebook, I'll tell you what, for the first time, I feel like that. But not about a show. I feel proud that I do not know a single detail from the Freaky Boy case. I ain't even to say his name on my podcast. Y'all know exactly who I'm talking about. I don't know nothing. Every time somebody talked about it, I was on the Mr. Know It All podcast a couple of Sundays ago. Shout out to him. Also part of Podcast Link Philly. Shout out to him for having me on. It was a great episode. That's episode 203. If you have not watched it, please go watch episode 203, Diddy Douglas. It's hilarious. And Go ahead and pop out that $5 for the Patreon because that went crazy as well. Shout out to PBT. You pay for the Patreon, you'll find out who PBT is. Um and why. But it came up on their show and I was like, it makes me a little bit better than y'all. Is that what it is when you don't watch those shows? It does make you better than other people. It makes you superior. Well, tell you what, I feel better than other people, not knowing a single thing from that trial. Like honestly, anything I know about it, and I won't even say I know about it, but anything I've heard about it, I've heard from word of mouth. I've heard from other people. I've been on podcasts, like I said, the Mr. Know It All podcast. Um, I was there for the filming of tonight's episode of Talk Heavy podcast, and it came up, and I am just entirely disinterested and completely uninvested. Um, I don't even retain what I do hear at the time when other people talking about it, and I feel like you know what? Good for you, Nari. I know nobody else cares, but I'm gonna share that with y'all. That makes me feel good that I'm not participating in it whatsoever. That I've managed to stay above this particular fray. Now, unlike Myron, I don't know if that necessarily makes me bigger than y'all, a better person, but I'm gonna act like it a little bit, and I'm gonna feel like it a little bit. So, if you judge me, judge your mom. My bad. I keep seeing my Sherman Hemsley, man. I ain't get to clean this up. I life been life. I'm gonna have it right for next week's episode though. So my bad for the sunroof. You know what I mean, for the topless joint. Here falls on topless, but yeah. So I just that's just a little something I want to share with y'all. uh, also, were was I invested in Kels? You know what's crazy? I will say I immediately took more of a interest in his case. Um I did in his case because as opposed to just stories about, freakiness and freak offs or whatever, like I had been one of the few people for a decade saying that that man needed to be in jail, that people needed to stop supporting him, stop playing his music. So once it got to the point where, Robert looked like he was really going to jail, sorry, where it looked like he could really see jail time, I'm not going to lie, I was invested in the verdict specifically. Well, interested. I don't want to say too invested, but I was interested in the verdict. Welcome, bro. We're better than them. Say less, Myron. But yeah, I was like invested in the verdict, and I was kind of interested in some of the stuff that was going on around the case or with the case. Um, because I'm not gonna lie, I wanted him to get put behind bars. He's a monster. Like there was nothing, there was no way you could convince me. Unlike with Freak Boy, where it's a lot of stuff about his personal life, um, but what he's actually being charged for, I don't know if that's necessarily coming up in the courtroom. Um, because I don't really hear about people talking to him about it. Y'all tried to judge him, but not guilty. Now that man is guilty. R is guilty. Guilty as hell. Guilty as hell. Guilty as hell. Glad they roofed him. Um. So yeah, that hit a little bit different. That hit a little bit different for me, Kane. Because while I don't like either one of these Negroes, and I have not liked either one of them for a long time, um, because of the things that I saw in their personality, uh, like I was just way, way more convinced that Robert was out there literally committing crimes and needed to have been stopped. Um, so yeah, I talked about that way more. Um, but I stopped getting actually like invested as far as looking up anything right around the time when they were supposed to be dropping that documentary, the surviving documentary. I went to go play it and I stopped myself like, why in the hell would I watch this, man? And I saw one of the clips and then that convinced me not to watch it at all. So yeah, I was more initially involved in that or invested in that than I am with this whole thing with, you know, as Keith called him, Diddy Douglas. Um, yeah, I ain't hell, boy. Um, may the truth come out either way, whether you're innocent or guilty. May the truth come out, and may the verdict reflect the actual truth in his case. That's all I'll say. Um, there was something else I wanted to go on to. Oh, if you're one of the lifers who do enjoy gaming, by all means, check out Life Be Life in Gaming, where I have some clips posted where I will depending on how season 4 looks, I'll be going back to playing some Call of Duty. I'll be playing Overwatch again, and I will be finishing out the season 4 NBA Live 19. I just got hit with a copyright, by the way, y'all, because I me not thinking straight, thinking that because the music was on the game and it wasn't like I was playing music, so forth and so on, I didn't stop to think about the fact that those musical copyrights would end up hitting me. So it's not copyright strikes, but I got to go back at the video and make sure to take the music off. So if you've watched any of the videos before me doing my retrospect on NBA Live 19, was live really that bad? Was Live 19 really that bad? You won't hear the music, the songs on it no more because I have mentioned the songs, but y'all won't hear no more of the songs no more because no more copyright issues coming my way. No, thank you. But I also find it funny that up until I started doing these videos, I didn't know nobody who was playing NBA Live 19. Everybody was either playing 2K25 or still playing 2K24. Now, all of a sudden, I see a bunch of people doing it on stream, on Twitch, and now I've seen this popular 2K YouTuber. He was doing it too. It's just funny how the world works. All right, so let me get to the meat and potatoes. Pause on meat. Let me get to why the title is what it is, and I'm probably gonna rap soon after that. Um, because again, this is the I guess the heavy and vulnerable part of the episode that I'm gonna share with y'all. So right now, my youngest is asleep, my oldest is in his room gaming, Mrs. not even in the crib. Outside of the cat, literally peace. Before I even started recording, neighbors was outside making noise. I was like, Dad, I closed the window, but I want to keep the window open because I want some fresh air coming in where I'm recording at. Um, I don't hear nothing outside of maybe somebody's AC unit. I hope that might start picking that up. Um, Peace, literal peace. And it's reflective. Yeah, folks steal from me. It's not going to be the first person I play double dribble in Bulls versus Celtics. Man, listen, I would love to see that streamed. I promise you I would. I promise you. If you did that and put it on Patreon for $5, I'd pay the $5 just to watch it, Myron. I ain't gonna hold you. I mean, so I can't prove that boy stole the idea from me. But it wouldn't be the first time people have stole from smaller content creators, or for me for that matter. Like I've had posts stolen from Facebook by bigger content creators, smaller content creators. I've seen quotes that I've had in sports groups end up sports quotes that I've made up, excuse me, not had in sports groups on Bleacher Report. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't get no credit. Nothing. Matter of fact, I've even made comments, like even been in some of these people comments and said certain stuff, and then I see it somewhere else. No credit, no credit, no, you know what I mean? No nothing, just a couple of likes. And then people act like that person made it up. All right, whatever, man. Definitely people, stealing. But at the end of the day, and that's why I made this post the other day, you can steal from me. You know what I'm saying? You can hijack my whole flow, the voice, the different aliases, my setup. You're not me. You can't be me. You know what I'm saying? I don't even care if you have all the followers I don't. I don't care how much bigger your platform is than mine. It don't matter. It don't matter. You can't steal what shine I'm gonna get. I ain't got the shine yet, but you can't steal it from me just because you got it now. You know what I'm saying? You can't steal that light when it's my turn. So I ain't even worried about it. But when it's my turn, y'all gonna see even more of me. Trust me. When it's my turn, it's gonna be my turn. For real, for real. So go ahead, have fun with it. Have fun with it for now. But when you steal from me when it's my turn, it's gonna be that much more obvious. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. And then at that point, I'm probably calling y'all names. All praise is due to the Most High. You know what I'm saying? Word to our law. That's how Mike said it. Word to our law. Um, but yeah, so back to what I was saying. So this is literally peace, and it's representing the peace that I'm trying to have for myself because the next 48, 50, 60, however many hours is not going to be the easiest for me. Um, one of one, baby. That's it. I don't care how many other non-reads in the world, how you spell it, whatever. I'm the only me there is. You know what I'm saying? I am your favorite fat freckle man. I don't care how many of them exist. So the big dog. I know it's a bunch of big dogs out here, but I'm the big dog. So it is what it is. Um, so got a lot going on this week. Um, I mentioned it earlier in the season. Um, suffered a very unfortunate tragedy in the family uh, with the loss of my younger cousin. We lost him to self-deletion, very unfortunately. Tomorrow is his birthday. It's also a very unfortunate coincidence that it is the anniversary of his mom and dad's wedding, or marriage, I should say. But marriage is always more important than the wedding. It should be anyway. Um, so emotions finna be high tomorrow. On top of that, my son is going on his girlfriend's junior prom. That's right. That's right. Y'all podcast nephew. He pulled the upper class, but he is technically upperclassman, but he pulled the senior. That's right. He's like that. In his own way, he is like that. Um, I love that immediate reaction. Like everybody be happy for him and everybody be proud of him when I tell him. Like when I'm like, he's going to prom. They're like, he's a senior. I'm like, no, he's a junior. His girlfriend's a senior. Oh, he pulled a senior. Like I love that reaction for him. That people be, impressed, for him and happy for him or whatever. I do. Um, uh, and you know what? And that's the crazy thing, not to go too far off topic, but my son has found favor ever since he was small. I mean, you unique favor. I appreciate you, Keish. Um, yeah, it is a lot, bro. Um, he's found favor since he was small. Like we used to go to Walmart around Christmas time. We sit there trying to shop for gifts for whoever we got shop for gifts for. And not once, but 2 years in a row, Santa came and just gave him bread. Whoever the person was playing, Santa just came and gave him bread. Like not every kid in the store. Like we was in the store. We saw who like for a while. So we saw him not giving out bread, but it's just like we just happened to pass him at some point in the store. He speaks to my son speaks back, and Pull the Senior is fired. Right, okay, nephew, right. That same reaction. I love it. Appreciate you, Ace. Appreciate you. Um, but just because no, at that point in time he was kind of like I know he was handing out toys earlier that day, but he like came out of whatever pocket is under the Santa Claus pocket. So he came out of his bread and just handed my son a dub just because he liked the way he said hi or something like that. Yay, relax. Relax, Ace. Relax, Ace. Relax, we're not doing this. We're not doing this, Ace. Chill out. A dot C dot E. Chill out, bro. Um, but yeah, so my son has always found favor, and I'm so thankful to God for that. That I mean, he's had some rough times. He's had some rough. He's having a rough time with this. I mean, that was my little cousin, but that's his like brother. That's his best friend in the world. So like, he didn't just lose a cousin. He lost a best friend. He lost his brother. You know what I'm saying? Um, so on top of everything, you know, he's my cousin through marriage, which means, of course, my wife actually lost her younger blood cousin. So I have to, and probably, maybe I don't have to, like literally have to, but because of how I'm wired, because the way I love, and because what I feel like is my responsibility as a person, I feel like I have to. Let me put that all on me. Um, as opposed to making it seem like people are forcing this on me. Let me take that accountability and responsibility. I feel like I have to box up and bottle up whatever emotions I'm feeling to make sure that I'm ironclad for the next few days for my wife, for my oldest, for, my big cuz T. Like, if you know anything about my coaching journey, you know he's the guy who put me on that path and facilitated for me to, I wouldn't even be your favorite coach's favorite coach without T. Um, you know, that's the reason why Cobb's Creek is, part of who I am. It's because of him. He started that run first. I just picked up the baton from him. He literally like passed that torch to me. So um and we didn't I ain't gonna get into the story tonight, but he and I did not have the best the best start at all when I was first dating you know, the young lady who would become my wife. But being there for him, being there for, his sons, pretty much everybody who I feel like is gonna need me to be stoic, but yet sensitive, solid, but yet compassionate. Um, I really can't give in to how I'm feeling within the next few days. Like, I almost cried like 4 times today, um, earlier, and I could already feel that I'm at the point now where if I didn't cry earlier, it's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen till like Monday. And I'm praying that I don't have no full-on breakdown. Um, but I know Monday I'm gonna literally need to specifically take time to myself for myself to just process. Because on top of everything, right? So like I said, you got that tomorrow. Um, Saturday is the celebration of life that we're gonna have in his honor. Also, we'll be paying tribute to two of the slain players from the Creek. Um, that is Willie Grant Jr., aka Lump, and Hiram Hill Jr., aka H. Um, I appreciate that. I appreciate that, Bestie. I appreciate that. That's my sponsor, Keish in the chat. Y'all see, Denver's mom, aka. um, that's the podcast nephew. You know what I mean? Um, this is actually going way longer than I thought it would. So at least y'all still getting full content. I don't feel like I'll have to feel like I'm cheating y'all, like I robbed y'all. Um, so that's a celebration of life. I'm going to uh see, you know, H's mom, probably his daughter. Um, I'm gonna see Will's mom, maybe his sister, for the first time in a long time, as far as they're concerned. Um, and just kind of reliving the fact that there are three pieces of our, the Cobb's Creek family and our little family missing. Um, is a lot. Uh, it's a lot. So I gotta, like I said, I gotta box it up, tuck that. Pause on tuck that. That sounded crazy. I gotta box that up, bottle it up, put it, all the way on the top of the shelf where the camera don't see. Like behind there, like not just to the front of the shelf, like behind. Um, and then come for that, pick it up Monday when, you know, because after that, so you got prom, Aiden's birthday on the 30th, celebration of life for Aiden, and remembrance of Aiden, Lump, and H tomorrow on the 31st. And then my wife's birthday is on the 1st. So I have to also find a way to make sure that she feels loved on and celebrated and find some kind of joy because, again, Aiden is my little cousin through marriage. That's her cousin through blood. Then she has to also be in a support role for her big cousin. Like, I've met her dad, I've met her stepdad, God rest his soul, but, you know, her older cousin T was kind of like a dad figure, very much so, initially. So I have to be there for her while she's being there for him. And I'm not saying any of this stuff to complain to y'all. I want to be very clear. This is not my attempt to elicit sympathy because sympathy does nothing for me. Um, I am not trying to get pats on the back. I'm not cheating, so I'm not trying to get no free Gucci. That's what y'all was going to offer. Anybody was going to offer. Go ahead, hold on to that. I got some homies you could throw that to. Um, Now, if you feel bad enough for me to make some good fried chicken and you make some good fried chicken, go ahead and feel bad. Go ahead and feel bad for me and make that, okay? Um, or some good turkey. All right, let me stop the fat stuff. My bad. 'Cause I was about to put in an order with y'all. But seriously, that's not what's going on here. What I wanted to have, because it's still Mental Health Awareness Month, what I wanted to have was an honest and vulnerable conversation about my mental and emotional state, about the decision that I'm making. Shout out to Myra. Choosing. I'm choosing. I'm not being triggered, Myra. I'm choosing. Um, I had to say something crazy, new friend. I had to say something crazy. Um, and I appreciate that offer, Keish. I appreciate that. Um, but like I said, that's what this is. Um, and because everything is so quiet right now, like I can hear the cat in the basement meow. I don't know if y'all just heard that. That was not the cat that's upstairs with me. That's the cat that's in the basement. I haven't got into that story. Bro, speak. Welcome to the chat, bro. Thanks for joining. Appreciate all your support, man. I do. For real, for real. Um, but that's another thing, right? We were a one cat family when everything happened, and my cousins had to move out the house where we lost Aiden at. they got a lot of pets and they had to move and they couldn't take all the pets with them. So we have two of the cats. I'm late, but I want to come too. um, Shout out to Bird. What's up, Bird? Good to see you in the chat. Um, but what was I saying? Oh yeah. So now we're hosting two cats. One of that cat, we didn't know one of the cats was pregnant. So now there's kittens now. Like be life, right? Like be life. So I say all this to say that as much as me and Mish advocate for therapy, um, and I'm not advocating for it now. I just wanted to give, you know, I wanted to be open with y'all. I wanted to share with y'all, and I wanted to give y'all because I asked for y'all to do a mental check-in with me. Um, and I need to re-up with y'all on that, but we're gonna do that in the lifeline. If you would like to be, let me get a key. Oh, see, Keish already called dibs on one, so I don't know what's going on with the other two yet. But if any of the other two are up for grabs, I got you, Bird, for sure. Um, yo, Ace. Ace, you wildin' tonight. You wildin' in the chat tonight, bro. We definitely not doing that. She just said punch the air and cry while I'm punching the air. That's it. I ain't going in there to do anything else. Lives be lives and the cats. I think that we all need to do that check on everybody. No, for sure, speak for sure. Like that's why I made that post after me and Mish did episode 76. That's why I put the post out there so that everybody would have a chance to, check in with us. But yeah, I mean, we should do it with our friends and family and everybody who we know in real life for sure. But I definitely, like I said, I'm gonna put it in the lifeline. So anybody here in the chat who's not already part of the lifeline, I already made the official lifeline Facebook group. If you would like to be part of the Lifeline, go ahead and inbox me. Just inbox Lifeline, and then I'll add you to it. I'll send you the invite if you're not already part of it. Um, so that and I will put a post in there to check on everybody, and I also have a challenge for everybody. I meant to put that challenge in last week. I apologize, blame it on my head, not my heart. But I wanted to challenge everybody because I'm a accept a challenge for myself. I wanted to challenge everybody to be intentional. Yeah, no, you're doing a great job, Ace. I got you, Speak. I'm gonna send that invite for you, bro. I wanted everybody because I saw there was a lot of people. I said on a scale of 1 to 10, and I saw a lot of people that was under 5. So there's only but so much I guess I could do for people if they don't have a way that I can help them. Excuse me. But I wanted to challenge people, and I'm gonna talk about this challenge myself. I'm gonna talk to y'all exactly. I'm gonna say Monday, but let's give me grace for Wednesday at the latest. All right, y'all. Give me grace for Wednesday at the latest. Um, that I will intentionally do something to try to better my mental space, to better my head space. Don't pause me for head space, Myron. Leave me alone. I already see you. But like to intentionally make the effort to shift and not avoid, not put a band-aid on, but literally to shift where I am mentally and emotionally. I'm gonna put that out there as what I did, and I'm gonna challenge everybody. There we go. How about that? I'll put the challenge out on Monday. And then Wednesday, we all check in the lifeline. That sound good, y'all? I think that sounds good. I think that gives people enough time for those who weren't in the chat tonight to see it, to prepare, whatever it is they're going through, get themselves an idea. So I'm gonna go ahead and I was I should have known if you was in the chat. Yeah, I have to think about you too. But Oh man, Kane, our episode next Thursday, Kane. Speaking of pause, our episode next Thursday, Kane. You know what I'm saying? Preview to the lifers. We got an episode already booked with the one and only Kane Marco himself. You know what I'm saying? And we gonna talk about this whole pause thing because he feels very strongly about it. Feels very strongly about it. And I think it's gonna be a really good conversation when we have it out. Um, but yeah. So like I said, I just wanted to put myself in a space to where maybe either y'all could relate to it, y'all could take something from it. Uh Maybe even if you have to hold me accountable later next week. In some he definitely he threw um to maybe where maybe you notice I'm posting too dark, like you know what I'm saying, like I'm clearly still not there, and you're like, all right, Nari, we're not trying to tell you, you know get over it, but we see you spiraling, and you gotta help reel me in. Like that's what the lifeline is about us supporting each other, um in whichever ways is feasible. So if we all communicating, if we're all responding to the mental health check-in, and then we respond to the challenges to try to improve our mental health, we respond to the follow-ups, I think we can all benefit that way. So like I said, I'm gonna put the challenge Monday. That gives me enough time, and that should give everybody else enough time, and then Wednesday we should have stuff back to report. All right. But I think that that's pretty much it. um I appreciate everybody who showed empathy, compassion, love, support tonight as far as what I'm going through. Um, I appreciate y'all for tapping in. I appreciate y'all for the chats. Ace and Myra for the humor. Kane for just being consistent, bro. Like you're consistent. You and Myron are very, very consistent as people in the chat. So I appreciate y'all for that. I appreciate Bird. I don't know if I seen you in the chat before, Bird. I feel like you might have been in the chat before though. But if this is indeed your first time, I appreciate you showing up. I appreciate you, dog. And of course, our sponsor, Denver Mom, aka the owner of Simply the Shade Catering, aka the co-owner of Second Line Express, Keish, being in the chat, being the best friend that she is, man. Like it's hard. It's hard for people to accept that males and females can be friends without no free shit. Hey, Sonny, love you too, bestie. You caught me as I was getting ready to wrap up, Sonny, but thank you for sliding. Um, I saw you was over there chatting it up with the Talk Heavy live chat. Shout out to Sonny, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to Sonny D. Shout out to GFT Radio. And even though she's from Jersey, she is also part of Podcast Link Philly. So make sure to go show Sunny some love, whether it's GFT Radio as a whole, whether it's her podcast Sex with Sunny. By all means, go show her some love. This is not your first time at the rodeo. All right, bet. Grace should be my weekend word. All right, see, that's what I mean by holding me accountable. Fair enough. I will make that my weekend word. I'll take that suggestion, um, quite literally. Um, I would try anyway. I would try because let me not lie. Once I get into a certain mode, it's kind of hard for me to navigate. Um, because like I said, I already know. By the time I log into whatever video game, and people need to get over it, my best friend of 30 years is a man. Yeah, I mean, because we like, and I do understand because we see best friends out here. We see it. We see it. We see it. You know what I'm saying? Dudes be lying, women be lying. We know best friends who be freaking off, but there are people who genuinely do not do sexual things with their best friends. Like they're not. you know, uh, best friends because they couldn't work out as a relationship. They're not best friends because, you know, she don't see him like that, but he see her like that. They're not best friends because she knows she could be the girl for him and he just keeps picking all the wrong women, but she knows eventually he'll see her. Like, no, they best friends because they rock with each other tough, you know. They can respect each other's differences and they enjoy the commonalities that they have. Plus, he not cute. See, that be the other problem, right? See, that be the other thing. My bestie is a cutie. She's a cutie. She is. Um, actually, new friend, you know what I mean, Miss Tommy, she's my other bestie in here too. So, you know what I mean? So, I don't have an ugly bestie. I don't between the both of them. I don't have an ugly bestie. So, but everything's fair game. Everything's square on both these situations. Uh, but I'm gonna put that up on the screen just because that's funny as hell. Where plus he's not cute. Now you do have some people who they can't do the best friend thing if there's an attraction there. You do have those type of situations, um, but you know what I'm saying. It definitely helps in my case with Keish that uh, she is my best friend is in love with my other best friends. So it makes it real easy to keep everything straight. Um, you can't no, you can't be attracted to your bestie. So that's law. That's law. I didn't even know we was going to end up in this conversation because I was really trying to wrap things up. But you cannot be attracted to your bestie. Your bestie, you can acknowledge that your bestie is attractive, right? Like they're a looker. You see what people would see in them. You think they're pretty. You think they're handsome, like genuine. You think he's a stud. You think that she's a dime. But you can't if you look at them like, yeah, you know what? If circumstances was different, they can get it. That ain't your bestie. that ain't your bestie. Yeah, because my husband would be salty. Hey, there we go, Sonny. Exactly what I'm saying. Exactly what I'm saying, Sonny. Just because they are attractive doesn't mean you are attracted to them. One hundo. One hundo. That's exactly what I'm saying. So shout out to people whose besties are actually they besties, people who's not, sucking and, I'm trying not to cuss this episode, so that's why I haven't said. I'm trying to see if I could cut back on the cussing, especially because I record at home and I'm not a person who cusses in front of their kids. But my oldest son checked me the other day. He was like, "You told me you don't want me cussing because you don't want me to have the problem with cussing that you have, where it's just a bad habit." And he's like, you first said it, and I'm like, "Oh, Dad, like you don't even cuss like that." And then one time I, came down, I was about to come downstairs and you was recording. And I'm like, "Oh, that's what he means." So yeah, like I'm trying to cut back a little bit while I'm still in the space of my house so that my kids don't, think I'm Andrew Dice Clay. For those of y'all who old enough, you know what they say, if you know, you know. Or even throw Andrew Dice Clay out of here, man. We're not using him. Richard Pryor. There we go. Richard Pryor. Red Fox. Let's go with them. Because yeah, because they black. Yeah, tribute to my black legends. We all going off in the chat. What y'all up there talking about something? Yeah, that's a friend indeed. Byron, you wild. My man, my man, my man. Yeah, you better love on, bro. Go ahead, show him some love in the chat. Yeah, I mean, shout out to bro. Um, Ace Brooklyn. Oh, your love can be bought with food. Oh man, I love a good cuss word. Man, like I said, I just I the cuss words flow kind of easily with me. Um, I'm not that bad. I'm not that bad, but I do know I do know that sometimes it just again, it's not all podcasts. Like I said, I'm not Richard Pryor or Red Fox or nothing like that, but still, I don't want the kids to pick that up and then think that's the excuse to start using it. Now I gotta go to school because the youngest one heard it when he got out of bed when I thought he was asleep. Um, you said you don't say nigga. I do say nigga though. Nigga, 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 nigga. That was drawing. That was drawing. Oh man. Let me find out. Y'all being goofy in the chat tonight. Oh man, y'all hilarious. I guess Ace love can't be bought with food. He said buy him a Papa John's extra large. Hey yo, Ace, you wildin', you wildin'. First of all, he's capping. He's not eating no Papa John's because Shaq owned Papa John's, and we all know if Shaq owned it, never mind. Let's not get in trouble with Shaq. I mean, somebody, the first time my jaw go viral or somebody paying any mind, they said it to Shaq, and I'm standing on here slandering Shaq. Like, nah, let me not put myself in that position. Um, because pause on put myself in position, but let me not put myself in a bind to where now I'm just catching smoke for Shaq. Don't get me wrong, I got issues, probably some issues with Shaq that I wouldn't mind voicing when the time is appropriate or when the episode calls for it. Then I'm gonna say whatever I got to say, however you feel about it. I really couldn't care, but all right, I'm gonna say it though. Shaq do be advertising, on the janky level. You know what I'm saying? Like, I forget what car he was in today. It's like, Shaq, you can't. Well, I forgot what car he was advertising. It's like, come on, Shaq. You don't own that car. You can't fit in there, bro. Even if they customize it, you can't get in there, bro. Stop it. You just cut Shaq out on IG. What do he do? What do he do? Then you'll do something a little strange for a Little Caesar joint is wow. Doing something strange for Little Caesars pizzas. Hey, yo, what? You know what? This off the rails. I ain't even finna ask which flavor. I feel like we gotta. That's a life be life and after dark conversation. Which little, which pizza topping would you do something strange for? What's wrong with Shaq? Shaq got some cool ways with him. That's one of the things that's wrong with Shaq. Secondly, he always talking about beating somebody up, and Shaq can't fight. That's the other thing that's wrong. All right, I said I wasn't going to do this. I'm not. That's not what this podcast is about. But we can have a different conversation on another day about my Shaq issues. Um, Although if you got the general insurance, let me know if that joint is actually if it's actually holds up for you. All right, because I'll throw Shaq I'll shoot Shaq bail if the general insurance is actually helpful. It was a Buick. Thank you, new friend. It was a Buick, and he damn sure ain't fitting that damn Buick. Get the hell out of here, Shaquille. Stop it. All right. Um, like I said, I didn't want this to run too long. Y'all ain't here chatting though, but now I don't feel like leaving because everybody in here being funny and chatting. Um, all right, before we go, let's find out. Bird, why you cuss out Shaq on IG? What did he do? What did he do? What did he do? And what did you say? The general is good? All right, Shaq. So I'll give you bail for the general. I'll give you bail for that. Um, but them shoes, not the Reebok Shaq Gnosis, but the Shaqs, Papa John's, there's some else Shaq name is on that he sponsored. That's whack. Yeah, like you be advertising a lot of stuff. Like I don't know what Shawnee hitting you over the head with for child support, but you be sponsoring and advertising what they say like the renters do, dog. My God. Um. Oh, he was talking trash. Let me put that on the stream in the comments of an old video of game one. Oh, let me find out he's sore about game one. About old game one. The only loss they had that season. Let me find out he's still upset about that. Boo. 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 Oh well yeah. I mean he's right. They did win. They did win. I have to remind Philadelphia fans of that all the time. And I mean Philadelphia fans, not Sixers fans, Philadelphia fans. Because see, I'm a Sixers fan, but I wasn't literally born and raised here. So Philadelphia fans, the Philadelphia fandom is 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 different. It's different. Y'all know y'all got a reputation. Um, gotta give his shoes a pass. I do give his shoes a pass to a certain extent. Um, to a certain extent because of that. Like you said, he wanted to kids to be able to afford them. But I don't give him a pass in that he kept trying to make other shoes. Like give us Shaqs. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, you're not signed with Reeboks, but you helped design the Shaq Gnosis joints. There's no other shoe like the Shaq Gnosis. No other shoe like it. You know it when you see it if you've ever seen it before. If you've ever seen it and you know the name of it, you know it when you see it. So give us some of your brands that's like we know it when we see it. Don't give me Michael Jordans, like Shaq. They're with your Dunkin' on the rim like logo on it, bro. That's why I don't shoot him no bill. I respect that. Oh my God, not the whole bird. I'm not doing this whole AI carry the Sixers thing with y'all. I'm not. I'm not doing this with y'all. Go back to I want to say it's episode 46. I could be wrong, but it's top five dead or alive. Me, Mish, cousin Reg, and my man Daryl have a discussion about who's the top five shooting guards of all time and whether or not Allen Iverson is that in that list. Spoiler alert, he's in all of our top five. Um, but Bird, go watch that episode and hear what I have to say, and then maybe me and you gonna have a conversation. But you not gonna like what I have to say. Kiss your behind, yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, you're gonna have to feel that way because good Lord, I'm so tired of that narrative. It is tired and it is false. Never, never. I'm not. I said I'm not doing it. I said I'm not doing it. I said I'm not doing it. This is not the podcast episode for it. We're gonna have to meet up on one of the sports joints, especially because Demisha gonna want to be around for it. So I don't want to leave her out of this conversation and leave her perspective out. But all time, top five shooting guard all time. I don't think that's crazy at all for AI. I don't think that's crazy at all. Top five? You don't think he's top five? If you haven't seen that episode, Myron, go check that out too, and let me know who your top five is. I don't think it's crazy that Allen Iverson is in anybody's top five all time shooting guard list. I don't think so at all. I don't think that's crazy at all. Um, I got two. I do not have 2 more hours, bro. Um, no, no, we are not doing that conversation right now. I'm gonna save it. That's something else that, what I mean, people have been telling me, make sure that you leave content for another episode. So let's pick up and do that episode, not next week, because next week we have the pause discussion with Kane. And then maybe the week after that, depending on how Misha's feeling, if she's feeling better, maybe we could, do game night to still celebrate her birthday. Because again, we did mine, we celebrated my birthday and Misha's my co-host, and I want to give her flowers. I want to make sure that, what I mean, we do the trivia questions about her and all that stuff on the pod and show her love and all that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? I want to make sure that she gets that episode to shine for her, and we have that kind of fun based around celebrating her as well. So I'm very much dedicated to doing that episode for Mish. Um, but yeah, yeah. So when we have the sports episode, I'll let y'all know ahead of time. I'll let y'all know ahead of time when we doing our next sports episode, and then we will revisit that conversation in that sports episode. Matter of fact, I'll probably see if I could get cousin Reg and Daryl to come back so we can revisit that conversation. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm gonna work on that for y'all. I'm gonna work on that for y'all. All right. When I get everybody booked for that episode, I will put it out in advance that that's what we're doing. I'll let y'all know when. and we can have that conversation because it's a fun conversation to have. I can't even lie. I got three ahead of him without even thinking too, but that's easy. That's easy. Mike, Kobe, D Wade. That don't mean he's not top five. It's just I don't think anybody. You really can't convince me that anybody's. I think everybody after the top three is debatable. I just don't think the top three is debatable at all. So that's like I said. That's why the conversation is the conversation, and we'll have that for a sports episode. I am going to wrap up. However, it's almost 11 o'clock. Throwback Thursday. When it's Throwback Thursday, oh, the Throwback Thursday episode we discussed. Um, I don't know. I'm gonna work that out with me to make sure we plan that properly. But for sure, and shout out to Kim. Shout out to Kim for having a discussion with Myron that birthed that episode as an idea. So shout out to Kim who's not in the chat tonight. Um, Also, I know she said that she was under a five when we did the mental health check-in. So, you know what I mean? If you know Kimmy Griffin, or you see her in a lifeline or whatever, you know what I mean, show her some love. You know what I mean? Check in on her, make sure she's cool. You know what I mean? If you rock with her like that, cash up her some lunch money. Um, who was the third one? D Wade was my third. D Wade was my third. Dwayne Wade. You know what I'm saying? Big Blade. That was rude of me to say, but whatever. Um, D Wade is definitely the third. Yeah, YouTube plunges is crazy. She was in here. Oh, okay, cool, cool, cool. I didn't see her in here, but definitely shout out to Kim. And again, like I said, she like y'all think I'm having a rough couple of days, as of tomorrow or stuff like that, or a lot going on this weekend. She's been going through a lot. So like I said, please, show her some love, support her in whichever way is feasible for you to do so. All right, because that's what I want the lifers to do. I want us to not just be people who support my podcast. I want us to actually be a very solid um L. Wayne Kenny. You're not talking about the one that worked where we work, are you? I know you're not talking about the one that worked where we work, Bird. Don't you know what? I'm a nah. Mm-mm, nah, 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 nah. If you mean him, I'm cool. If you mean him, I'm cool. If you mean him, I'm super cool. Super cool. Super cool. I mean, I do have a good black therapist, but if that's who you suggesting, the one that worked for the same company that you used to work for, that I still work for, no, super cool on board. Mm-mm, mm-mm. No, under no circumstances would I ever, even if it was free and I was having the worst day ever, 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 would I ever confide in that nigga. I wouldn't tell him I had a fucking. See, I was trying not to cuss. I wouldn't tell him I had a hangnail. Hell no. Hell no. All right. Bladeville is a super pause. No, it ain't no super pause. That's where Dwayne Wade reside in Bladeville. And so does this therapist that she suggested. He reside in Bladeville too. Well, he don't reside there, but he make trips there. All right. I'm bugging now. I'm bugging now. All right. We not, yeah, we see, Bird. It's something about me and you friendship, man. We bring out the best and worst in each other. We bring out the best and worst in each other, man. Yeah, that's a conversation between me and you and Keith that gotta break down for you why like that's a definite no go. Um But yeah, you can rest your case. It's definitely for the yeah. Anyway, all right, y'all. I appreciate the love. I appreciate the support. Like I said, I'm saying feel free to Um, if you follow Demisha on Instagram, life be lifing underscore for Mimi. That's for Meme. DM her and just show some love. Don't blow up. Don't be obscene. Don't be too. Don't be doing too much. That's make sure to add you. I thought I did, but definitely I will add you on the lifeline for sure, for sure. I'll make sure. Oh, you talking about on the line for that conversation? Oh yeah, 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 Keish. Me, you and Barry gonna have that conversation because you got to be part of that conversation. Because yeah, yeah, you got to be part of that conversation because you know what I know. But yeah, Juneteenth. Hey, hey. We might have to create some content if we do another Juneteenth link. I ain't gonna hold y'all, but that's another story. Like I said, if you follow Mish on Instagram, feel free to show her some love while she recovers from her illness. Like I said, show Kim some love while she's still dealing with the losses that she's had to endure. Um, I appreciate all the love that y'all showed me tonight, the laughs, everything. Before, like I said, I go ahead and put my emotions in the box. You missed a golden opportunity to say, "Tell us what you want in response to add me on." Add me on the line. Tell us what you want. Lifeline, lifeline. Tell us what you want. Oh man, you're right. I missed it. Coach on the lifeline now. Nah, but for sure, I appreciate everybody. This episode was not supposed to go this long. It's only because y'all made this episode pop through the chat. Y'all are amazing. I appreciate and got mad love for each and every last one of y'all. Again, looking forward to it. Next episode. Kane already booked this, so if we don't do next week's episode, or we gotta do it with somebody else, make sure to find him on Facebook and flood him with insults and teasers. Not really crazy insults though. Like don't get personal. Just like punk. You weak. Little stuff that he could forgive you for. You know what I'm saying? Not nothing where I gotta be like, hey, too much. Um, but yeah, looking forward to bringing that to y'all. I love bringing the lifers on to the podcast. You know what I'm saying? Um, it's I have fun podcasting with podcasters. Like I said, I did last Sunday. Um, even though I wasn't like actually on the Talk Heavy episode that aired tonight, it was fun just being there in the background while they were doing it, while they real pause and so real pause and so Oh man, but yeah, like I said, as much as I enjoy podcasting with podcasters that really have a passion for it, that really know what they're doing, that's really skilled, I love also podcasters with people who are not podcasters and who are just genuine, who are just willing to offer their points of views, their opinions, um, because other people have stuff to say. You know what I'm saying? Can we do a live Joe not up in the Northeast? Listen, I don't pay for none of the live shows. So I show up and I be talent. I sell the tickets and I show up to be talent. I don't pay for none of where anything gets booked, Bird. I don't. Funny thing is, we started off, well not we started off, but when I was doing live shows, my first few live shows that I did with Hank, we was over there out in Southwest, at the barn before it burnt down. Fun fact. Very first live show I ever did was at the barn out in Southwest Philly. Shout out to the owner of the barn, man. Whatever it is you doing now, because I know you had to close it. You wasn't able to, reopen it after the fire, bro. Like, I don't know your name, but I hope that you've been able to rebound financially in a real way. Um, and that whatever direction you take and whatever endeavor you decide to go with after this is even more successful than what you did with the barn, bro. So yeah, I'm gonna end on that note. Uh, I'm gonna end on that note. On behalf of My brother in the chat that's been going off hilarious. A.C.E, my brother, that's who we always be. Sponsor also in the chat. Keish with the cakes. And of course, in absentia, our fabulous co-host, Mimi the Goddess, aka Big Mish. As I always say, be smart, be respectful, be patient. That includes with yourself. Be kind to as many people as you possibly can. I know some people's gonna make that impossible. Um, don't worry about those people. But most importantly, I'm be a hypocrite because I'm not gonna do it for the next few days. But still, listen to me. What what Bernie Mac say? Listen to me because I said it. Be kind to yourself. Take time out every day to be kind to yourselves because you cannot pour out of an empty cup. And I can honestly say that, like I said, I'm not gonna really have time for myself the next couple of days because of what I have to do for everybody else. But what y'all poured into my emotional, spiritual, mental cup tonight is going to help sustain me for the next few days. So from the top of my mind to the bottom of my heart and the depth of my soul, I thank each and every one of you. All right. Thank you in advance for those who's going to share the live, like Kane and Tierra. Um, everybody who was on, who's going to check the YouTube. I appreciate y'all. I don't even have the words to express how much I appreciate y'all. All right, let's keep going and growing. Y'all be safe and stay dangerous. I'm going.